the Onstage Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Robert. Welcome, everyone, to the Onstage Podcast. I was going to say podcasts. I'm your host, Christopher Robert. Wait, I should have said podcasts because I got a cat here, and I hope Hannah doesn't... But because I'm using her cat tree. Just kidding. So, well, today I have this amazing pumpkin spice kettle coffee of a company called It Works. And wow, I've already had a couple of these and I'm wired. Actually, don't have these at 9 o'clock in the evening because you're not going to fall asleep. Okay, so we have a very, very special, wonderful, thank you for joining us today, by the way. We have an amazing guest, an international singing sensation, and let's get on with the show.
If I ever do anything else with my life, my audition is something that I will never ever forget. It's just magical.
Lucy has been through an awful lot in her life.
The day is the day you learn to smile properly, because what you just did was extraordinary.
That was a turning point for me.
To see this transformation in her, it's just mind-blowing.
My love for classical singing came from a very early age. I was a bit of a tomboy, digging up worms, playing with bugs, but I always used to turn the dial on the radio to a classical station. For me, it just takes me into kind of like a trance, and I think I feel everything. I don't think I would want to do anything else.
I want to see Lucy succeed more than anything I've ever wanted in my life.
I'm quite nervous, but I know you'll give it everything you've got. This is the biggest opportunity I've ever been given.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Lucy Kay. Hi, Lucy.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. How was it? How's the weather in Norway right now?
It's fine. It's like snowing a little bit, but then it rains a little bit. So we're just waiting for the full shebang of snow, and then it will be minus 20 up here in the mountains.
Minus 20?
Yeah.
Wow. Minus 20 is like minus 2 here in Canada.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. I guess I won't be visiting you anytime soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to tell our audiences that please have your questions ready because we're going to be answering some questions, and I'm looking forward to it. Are you ready to answer some questions later on? Lucy?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me, by the way?
Of course.
That's fine. Do you like my hat? Because I was thinking of wearing a Santa hat.
I can. It just distorted a little.
I didn't do it on purpose. I'm very sorry. I should be more respectful to that. Sorry about that. I hope I didn't seem rude while the time we were texting. That it was like cool. Okay, so
not at all.
Everyone, we have an international singing sensation here. The beautiful and talented opera singer, soprano, and many things, of course. But I have no idea how to start with you, though. I mean, like, you may have been on Britain's Got Talent, and actually, I watched that over and over again, and I thought Simon Cowell's response to you was actually very interesting. He goes, on your semi-final song, I believe it was. Oh, and by the way, Nella Fantasia is an Ennio Morricone. He wrote that.
Yes. Do you know, at the time when I was on stage, I didn't know how to pronounce it in my head because it was just thrown at me, a piece that I had to learn that week. And unfortunately, when he asked, I just froze. And because I was like, I know it's not Andrew Lloyd Webber, but I couldn't say it. So it just looked like I hadn't got a clue. But to be honest, it was just nerves and everything. And you know, I mean, I'm used to singing things by, you know, Puccini and things. So I was not prepared really, and I should have been. But that's my bad.
To tell you the truth, when I first seen Simon Cowell on America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent, and they have Australia's Got Talent, I'm like, whoa. he wasn't very nice back in the past, if you knew him back then, but now he's kind of leveled out, and I really enjoyed what he said to you. He said, "You've shown so much confidence." He said that he said, "Incredible. I mean, you literally saved the show tonight." And he said, "I was on my way home, and then you came back." I don't know if he really was on his way home, but hey, there you go. Yay.
That was nice of
Um,
him.
Most importantly, he proved the point. I should do it in his voice. Yourself, you got rid of your problems. It's in your past now. I hope all of that is behind you now. You just came out. You look like the star. You sounded like a star. Your voice control is incredible. And then he says, "I'm so happy that we have found you on this show." So, was that a big boast to your confidence? Like, what was going through your head when he said that?
Kind of like disbelief, really, because I have struggled with confidence quite a lot. When I sing, it kind of I just go into my own world. It's not necessarily that I am singing because I think I'm fantastic or because I'm a diva or whatever. It's simply an outlet to let that pain that I used to go through out, but also something, a solace. So when he said things like that to me, it didn't compute. And sometimes I think people can say things and I don't really believe them half the time. But that's my problem. I need to be more trusting in people and do believe what they say. But when it's compliments to me, it's very hard to take sometimes, and I don't really know how to answer. How do you answer something like that, really?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. How do you answer this one? David Williams. Um, he said that not only did you sing it faultlessly, but then he said that he wanted to sign you up tonight. How did you feel about that? You think he was actually going to do that? I think he should have done that because you deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, he was he was so lovely with his comments. It was just fantastic, and I mean, they all gave me just really wonderful comments that I wasn't expecting. Like I said, I had low self-esteem, and it didn't really compute, didn't really feel real. And even though I know I've done it and I can see it online still, I still think, oh, was I really there? Oh gosh, that's crazy that I did that, and it still feels like a dream, really.
Was a lot better than his comment he made about wanting to wear your dress, or he was going to wear your dress that night or something. This guy, I'd tell you, he's funny. I don't know if he was serious, but he's funny.
Yeah, he is funny.
Yeah,
He is one of my favorites.
he's really funny. So everyone, I'll put all her links down in the comment section. I mean, in the description, and the link to her, the complete link to her time on Britain's Got Talent, and the first audition, the second, and the third. So you have a beautiful voice, by the way.
Thank you.
It's incredible because when I heard Nessun Dorma, I tried to sing that song at venues and live, and I just couldn't do it. So I always resort to an Andrea Bocelli song or something. So,
Ooh.
but you're like I've heard that they said that you were like a modern Charlotte Church, but I think you're like Lara Fabian. Have you ever heard her voice?
Ooh, I have. Yes. Yeah.
She's
She's
excellent,
fab.
huh?
Yeah, she is. She's
Yeah,
fabulous.
yeah. In fact, you're all of them combined. How about that?
Ah, thank you. I love that. Thank you. That's very kind.
Can you tell us what it was like growing up in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was born in Leicester, and I just, I mean, I struggled as a child. I wasn't very academic. I needed something. And I did come from a broken family. Lots of people do. It's not out of the norm. But for me at that time, I was conscious that I needed a father figure. And then my stepfather came in when I was 4 years old, and then we moved to Mansfield area then. And and kind of like growing up was still difficult because I still couldn't understand why my parents had broken up. And as a child, you take that to heart. You think, was it something I did? And it was just, and it's very stupid because now I understand as I'm older, gone through various breakups, that I realize you cannot stay with someone just because you've got a dog together or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was tough, but I was very needy as a child, and I always wanted to, because I didn't have my father at that point. I then wanted to be everybody's best friend. I wanted to be the best friend they'd ever had. And so people saw that vulnerability and that neediness and took advantage of it. And it was a shame because a lot of my childhood was very sad, but singing saved me. And I will always say that my mum sat me down in a cafe and said, "What do you want to do? I need to get you to be a happy little girl again." And I just said I wanted to sing. And she said, "Okay, pop. And I said, "No, opera." Well, I mean, you could have knocked my mum over. She hadn't got a clue that I was going to say that. But then she realised that she remembered back when I was around 2 years old, I used to turn the dial on the radio station to Classic FM and mimic the opera singers or the orchestra. So it kind of connected that there was always something classical there. And then when I auditioned for a girls' choir called Cantamus, and we travelled around the world. And I started that at 7, and then finished that when I was in my 20s. And that was my safe place. That was the place that I was with like-minded people. And and really that was my sanctuary.
That's good. That's good to hear. It must have been hard growing up with just a mother who's a father as well. It must have been very difficult when just you have a father and then you don't. I mean, I had my father right up until he passed, and I'm really grateful. But even being without a father and a mother at the moment, you miss them, but you just move on. You have a way of moving on. But
Yeah.
I don't know if this is personal, but did you have contact with them or?
Yeah, I do now. My dad
Good.
actually came over a couple of weeks ago and visited, stayed over with my sister.
Terrific.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we do. I mean,
Perfect.
after the show, we kind of really reconnected so much more. And, and I think, my mum and dad were just so young when they had children as well. It was what was expected. You go and get married, you have children, mum stays
Yeah.
at home, dad's the breadwinner kind of thing. But I don't think that, I think we're all very young at that age and thinking, 17, 18, and you're not an adult then. You have no idea what life's going to throw at you or how to be a parent. So, the thing is, two people just didn't love each other anymore, and that was the reason. But I saw my dad regular, probably once a week. But now we've got more of a relationship than ever. And that's because I'm a lot older to appreciate actually what happened and why they weren't together anymore. And it was nothing to do with me. So, it's just growing up.
Yeah. Did you ever think that, like, I want to say, where can you tell us about your singing journey and how you think it has changed over the years? Like, has your genre changed? Like, my genres have changed over the years. Like, when I was 6 or 7, I used to listen to Bee Gees, but I don't listen to them much now. So, what do you currently listen to?
Oh gosh, I listen to everything now. I'm very, very versatile. But I used to, when I was going through my teenage phase, so when I was younger, it used to be complete classical and opera. Then my teenage stage, I was then introduced by boyfriend to rock music, and I was like, woo, and heavy metal. So then I kind of went down to my mum's dismay, went down quite a rock and heavy metal route, and started experimenting with that kind of music, and really, and then I liked it. And then the thing is that the more I listen to a lot of, oh gosh, I listen to everything from classical to techno to absolutely everything. I love and appreciate all genres of music. Although, having said that, I can't rap, so I haven't. I've appreciate it, but I can't say that I actually listen to rap music.
You're like Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did. Well, I did used to listen to a few of his songs actually. That's a lie. I have listened to that, but it's not something I would choose to go to. Everything else, I love. But yeah, it's just I am on a musical journey where it depends what mood you're in, and sometimes like today I was like, oh, I just need a little bit of calm. And I was listening to a lot of Indian music, and their vocals are just so beautiful and haunting. So I was listening to a lot of that today as well. So yeah, I like everything.
Yeah. I maybe two songs from Eminem, but I thought in karaoke thought I'd try out that Cool Mo D song. You go to work. Oh wow! I don't know if you heard that one, but that took like 3 weeks to learn before I went in front of a karaoke. And rap is not my style. I don't really
That's
like rap that much.
dedication, that is.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, if there's a song I want to learn, I will learn it. And but Ed Sheeran's "Shape of You" took me like 2 days because I've learned to take a shortcut. Sorry, did you hear the? I don't know if you can hear the lawnmower or anything. I'm not sure if I have this. It's supposed to be noise canceling. Do you hear it?
Oh, I could just heard it then, but I hadn't been aware. I hadn't been aware of it. But
Oh,
I have
that's not a good
cats.
thing today because I want to make sure that everyone can hear what you're saying.
Oh no, don't worry. It was only slight, and also I have cats and rabbits that are just running around
Oh,
the place. So if you do hear feet like tapping around the floor, it's rabbits or cats.
your rabbits and cats are sort of like
Yeah.
singing themselves, are they?
Yeah.
Or cat karaoke, get it? Karaoke.
Cat, I like it. I like it. Yeah, good one.
What was I going to say? Yes. Apart from genres of music, are there any other musicians in your family, like siblings or?
I mean, all my sisters sing. I'm not so sure about my brother. I'm sure he's got a voice. I haven't heard him sing though. But there is 5 of us, and I know that the girls do love to sing. So, and when we get together, we all like to try and sing and harmonize together. So yeah, and my mum, she used to be a really good singer, and she used to play the drums as well. I think she was at some pub or something. I can't remember what she told me, but did used to play the drums. So that's cool.
I know, and I remember going to a karaoke, and there was this teenager. She was drunk, and she sang better than she did when she was sober. So just like,
Wow.
so is that what you do? You drink before you go on stage?
Not a
kidding.
chance. Oh my gosh. I'm not one of these performers that can just like, oh, have a little bit of Dutch courage or, or drink because it's like, oh, it's good for the voice. No way. Because as soon as I've had a sip of anything, I would lose control of everything. I'm not saying that I'm very intolerable to alcohol. Not that, but I can't concentrate. I just would be too relaxed that probably words just wouldn't come out. So.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that you're a drunkard. I was just making a joke there. So why did you steer towards opera? Or are you actually, because I heard you cover some of Creep. That will be, well, everyone, her new album, Dark Angel, is coming out this Friday. It's excellent. It contains a lot of cover songs. And I believe Creep is on it as well.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's beautiful. And
Thank you.
also the Depeche Mode song that you sing. Like you can take any genre song. You could probably take a Bee Gees song and turn it into an opera classical piece. I bet.
Well, I love
Amazing.
doing that kind of thing, and this is what I really wanted to do with my second album. I thought the first one was an A to Z of opera, and that's great. But what I really wanted to do was turn some songs onto their heads and really create something that could be in a film or something, and that people have not heard these songs in that way before. So I thought Creep was a fantastic one. Enjoy the Silence as well by Depeche Mode. I just thought, oh come on, let's just do all these songs that I love and that I've listened through my childhood and through my teens, and let's just go for it. So yeah, I love opera and I love singing classical, but I don't like to be pigeonholed into one box. I like to do anything and everything, and it gives you much more of a vibrant and versatile life, I think.
Was there a song that you just can't do and you refuse to do? Because I know there's a couple that I will never do because I just can't. It's just too difficult.
Gosh, I don't know, to be honest. I've not. I mean, that's a good question because I've never actually thought about that. I mean, I can't even think of anything off the top of my head. But what are the songs that you would not touch?
Oh my.
Do you know?
Yeah. But well, the one by Bocelli, Muso, what's that? Mucho Busimo, something. Anyway, that's why I don't want to do it because I can't pronounce the title of it. I do a lot of Italian songs actually, and people have said I butchered Italian, but there was a woman who actually speaks fluent Italian. She said it was perfect, so I'm like, you know what? Which was another one. Oh, there's some Blue October. That's one Blue October song, which is difficult to do. That's my favorite group.
Oh, right. Okay. I don't think I've heard of them.
Yeah, they sing a song like "Hate Me Today, Hate Me Tomorrow." Look at that one, and then "Into the Ocean" is one of my favorites.
Okay, I'll check them out.
So they're pretty good. Yeah. Also, yeah. So Radiohead. What's his name? It's not Michael Stipe. That's REM. Who's the leads? Oh, York. What's
Tom
York? Yeah, he's really good. And when I compare him to Michael Stipe of REM, that's basically not too bad. They could probably do a duet together, and you probably, and I don't know, Lucy, if you can believe this, but both of them, they both sound alike. They both sound the same for him. And
yeah, I can believe it.
And so, but I want to actually ask you about what it was like to be on Joseph and Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. You were a narrator.
Yes, yes.
How long did that take to put together?
I think we had about 6 weeks rehearsals, 5 to 6 weeks rehearsals, and boy, did I need it to learn those colours. Because you have to sing the colours and then you also have to sing the brothers' names. But then halfway through the second half, you sing the brothers' names in a different order. So, I mean, it was just crazy. But we got there in the end. But it was so much fun in the beginning, and it's something that I will always cherish. I did the role twice. But it was crazy because we did 10 shows a week and we did 3 on a Saturday, and they were just back to back. And I'm the narrator singing for almost 2 hours nonstop. So it was quite a big sing, but it was, for me, it was fantastic because I got to really show the other side of my voice. It wasn't classical anymore. It was musical theatre. And it was my first musical theatre debut. So it was great fun.
Yeah, actually, I was watching that little video of, I didn't even write his name down. The one that you were actually, there was a video of you and him getting ready for it. I can't remember his name now.
Lewis, or was it Joe McElderry?
It's Joe McElderry. That's
Joe
it.
McElderry.
Yes. Yeah. So, do you about connection to people that you sing with? Is there very much of like a connection to people? Is there time when you're singing with someone and you just, okay, this is not working for me, our voices aren't matching? What do you do in a situation like that?
Well, it kind of depends. I mean, if you get cast for things, you will inevitably be perfect match. There will be very, very little if you are put with someone that is not right for your voice. So usually the casting team know. Up to yet, I've not performed with anyone that I haven't felt that our voices have matched in any way. Other people might disagree, but with myself, I haven't. I don't feel I have. But if I was to, I think you've got to kind of try and work a way around it and work together on it to make it sound as one and as best as you possibly can. But up to you, I haven't had that issue as of yet.
Well, when you said perfect, I was thinking of Pitch Perfect. I don't know if you've seen movie Pitch Perfect, but when they
Yes.
practice these songs, Kelly Clarkson, is that how it works? Is that actually a true thing where people just they audition like that? Did you
I
have to
mean,
do that?
it's been a long time since I've watched it, but what perform go into a group and then performing it? I mean, when I had my audition, there's loads of people, there's hundreds of people, and you then get called in for your audition. You either have a dance round or a vocal round first. Mine was always a vocal round, and you're there in front of about 4 or 5 people, and you either so you have to prepare what they ask you to prepare, a song under 2 minutes or two contrasting pieces, and then you just sing for them, and then they just go thank you, and then you go. So you have no idea, and usually they're quite steely faced, so they don't leave nothing to the imagination. It's just they're kind of just like deadpan. So that's you have no idea, and then sometimes they just look at you and you think, oh my gosh, they don't like this at all, and you start to get nervous. I always get nervous. It's horrendous. I don't like auditioning at all, but you have to. But I just always think, oh god, they think this is absolute dire and I need to go, and then I'm like, no, they could be enjoying it, but they're not giving anything away, so it's hard to tell. And then some of my worst auditions I actually got through and got parts for things, and then
Wow.
some of my best that I felt personally I could not have sang better didn't get. So it's really weird. You can't even think about how well you do or how well you don't do. You just got to sing, and then it's up to them, really.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe that's why they're deadpan like that, because they don't want you to get the idea that you have it. Like if you're singing and the person goes, then you're thinking, oh, they like me, they must want me. If they're like, next, next, in the mind they're going, well, she's awesome, she's got a great voice, soprano, we want her, but let's see the other ones first. Meanwhile, you think, bye, go. I think that's just their trick. I know someone who says they absolutely love Barrett Wilbert Weed because of the stage show Heathers. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen it, but my friend Jodie Steele was in the first production of that in the UK here. So and I have seen it all on Facebook, but at this time I've been in Norway, so I've not been anywhere near the UK theatre for the past 2 years, 3 years actually now.
Well, apparently Barrett Wilbert Weed plays one of the characters. I think it's Veronica. I'm not sure. She'll correct me on that. But she also had an issue. I don't know if you have this issue too, but when she was like a lot of the actors, actresses, musical performers, they always take a back door and then they're mobbed by their fans. Have you had that?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's great because you get to see all the people that came to see you and just see how much they enjoyed it, and lots of people want photos and autographs. But sometimes it can be so exhausting because you've been on stage, you're selling your show makeup, or you've taken it off, and you just want to get home because you're so tired because you do these shows absolutely every single night. So sometimes it's bittersweet because you want to see all your fans and thank them for coming to support you, because without them you wouldn't be on that stage. You know, that wouldn't be a show. So you have to be grateful for these people that come to see you backstage, and a lot of people don't like it, or are just so tired. But I always try to make sure that I am there at stage door and stay for as long as I possibly can before I have to go off, sleep, and then do the whole process the next day. It is bittersweet, but you have to be grateful for the audience members who pay to come and see you perform.
I know, and also to sort of be nice to them, but at some point, if you're too nice, they're going to take advantage. And apparently, there was an issue with Barrett Wilbert Weed where she was walking out of the stage door of Heathers. They mobbed her and she got hurt, and she had to do a lot of like no more of this. But can you tell us what kind of rigorous schedule you have to follow in order to perform, as they said on Britain's Got Talent, flawlessly?
Well, you have to you have to practice every day. And you have to be kind to your voice. So no smoking and no drinking lots of alcohol. Obviously, I do dabble with a nice drink or two, but if you're going to be performing that week or weeks prior, then it's a no-go area. There's no point. With me, alcohol does affect the voice. I then sound quite like I'm a baritone. And if I don't get enough sleep, or I'm just not well rested in my mind as well, there's a lot to go with it. Mental health is a massive thing. If I'm not in the right frame of mind, then my performance will suffer. Probably the audience won't notice a big difference, but I do. And the thing is, if people are paying to come and see you, you have to be on top form. There's no point being like, I'm just going to go out with my friends and drink, or stay up till whatever time in the morning. And then people come and see you. That's just, that's your line of work. And you wouldn't expect a doctor to come in and operate on you after a heavy night out and not much sleep. So it's the same with singing. You've got to be sensible.
Can I show you something you did that's flawless?
Okay.
So what do you think?
Well, that last note.
Yeah. No, I have more, but how long did it take you to be able to? It was really good. It's like a long note, and it was flawless.
Thank you.
I thought I'd just take that one little clip and show you, like, that's flawless.
Thank you very much.
How long did it take you to get this song, Nella Fantasia, as we mentioned, by Ennio Morricone, not Andrew Lloyd Webber, everyone? How long it took you to actually sing it so that you knew that last long note would be perfect?
Well,
okay, I'm ready to go on stage now. And was that the song you were choosing for your last step?
Right. So this was the thing. I had a week to prepare that song. And then with my vocal coach, Rob Johnson, and the team at Britain's Got Talent, we went through the song. Now, the ending doesn't end like that usually. So what actually happened, which is quite funny, and I tell it all in all my interviews if it comes up, is that I said very early on in the rehearsal process of that week, I think we should do more with this song, because it just doesn't end in a good way. I mean, it's beautiful, but not for TV, not for getting votes. You need something that's going to be powerful or flawless, like you said. And they said, no, it's fine as it is. You just keep it down. So then I'm about to go on stage live for that semi-final, and I have a minute, and I'm backstage, and they're counting, they're doing the VR, and my Rob Johnson, my vocal manager, said to me, okay, Lucy, so I think you're going to have to do something with this song. You're going to have to change the ending. And I stood there. Now it's 30 seconds to go, and I'm standing on stage ready, and before these big doors open, I said to him, I said this, and he said, I know, but just do something. So I actually just did that last note on the spot. I didn't even think about it as I was just about to sing the song. I just did it instantly on the last note, because I thought, here, it's now or never, just do something. So I thought my whole body was probably tense at that point. But I just decided to fly up there and just hope for the best. But
I don't know how many. I think when Simon, sometimes you got 4,562 yeses, that's a lot of people. I don't think I can handle singing more than 100. Sorry about my Simon Cowell impression there. I do a better Christopher Walken, actually. So this, going right in front of Britain's Got Talent, you got thousands of people watching you. What's in your mind? That you here to please them, or you here to do a good performance? If that's the same thing, I'm not sure.
My thought was, I better not bugger it up, because I'm on national TV. And the audience didn't really come into play. It was just the judges, really, because the audience was built up in those semi-final and final rounds of families and supporters of each act. So I knew I had my family support there, but you know that everybody else is rooting for their friends and their family who are on stage. So it was mainly for the judges, but also knowing that the TV, it was, to be honest, I don't know if I want to do it again, because the thing is, I can't really remember how I felt other than, why did I decide to do this? Because it could all go wrong, but it didn't. So it was very, it was a brave decision to go on, but it was mainly for the judges. Yeah.
Can I actually ask you this question? I know I've seen a lot of sopranos end a song with a high note like that, but doing it with our arms up like that, what does that do? Does that give you sort of like more of a breath, or is it just that? What if you put your hands behind your back and you do it? Would you be able to do that note? It's just something
To be honest, it's personal to every singer, because I don't tend to realize what I'm doing with my hands. My hands are an instrument enabling also the voice, because I feel things a lot with my hands. Some people don't like it. I've had a few comments with, "Oh, I wish you'd stop moving your hands." But you know what? It's artistic choice. At the end of the day, I can't stand still. Then the voice doesn't flow because I'm all tense. With me, it was enabling me to mentally see that note in order to get it out. So for me, it was an action that helped an action. So that's why I did it.
Well, I remember when I was singing Holy Night on stage, I always moved my hands like this because that's my nervousness. I can't seem to sing without moving my hands. So I see what you mean. Like I would never go like this, but I mean like my hands, I've just moved my shoulders, like I just can't do it any other way. And it's nervous because there's like 300, 400 people out there, and that's the maximum amount of people I can actually sing for. But the karaoke's, you really become someone else. It's like, I don't want to say possessed, but you're like, you got all these people who are doing the same thing, and you're doing this Billy Joel song, and you become like Billy Joel, or you're doing like Doug and the Slugs and all these other, So I love singing. Sorry, this podcast is about you. I know it's like
no. I love a good karaoke. I used to love a good karaoke, but now I take it far too seriously. Because I'm like, I have to sing correct.
I do a lot of karaoke online, actually. It's called the Smule Sing app, and you can sing with people around the world.
I've seen that, actually. I have seen that.
Yeah. Let me see what. Yeah. So I wanted to ask, have you ever walked into a venue like a theater, ready to sing, and you were thinking, "This is not for me," and you just want to turn around and go back? Did you have these butterflies in your stomach, or was it sort of like, "Okay, let's get this over with"?
Yeah, actually. Do you know, I've performed at the Palladium with COLLABRO on our joint tour after
COLLABRO.
Britain's Got Talent, and then I just, for me, it's a theatre that it's well known in London, and everybody's the Palladium. For me, I wasn't comfortable on that stage.
Wow.
I don't know why. It wasn't for me. I'm usually comfortable on most stages. Like you have to deal with it. So, but I still had to sing, but I didn't feel that I performed my best that night because I had more nerves than usual. And I don't know if it was because it was hyped up to be what it was, the Palladium, which is an amazing thing to sing there. But for me, I wasn't comfortable at all.
You know, Britain's sorry about that. Britain's Got Talent, not British Got Talent. I've been watching this show for a while, and I know that Amanda Holden knows everything about singing because she's got a beautiful voice, and I've seen her sing too. But David Williams doesn't sing. Simon Cowell doesn't sing. So I don't, and my favorite Alicia as well, Alicia Dixon. I don't know anything about her.
Yeah, she
Um,
sings. She's a singer.
okay, I didn't know that. But her words to you for your final was a beautiful, haunting piece of music. And she says there's a huge gap in the market, and you're the one who can fill it. What was going through your head when you heard those words? Were you like,
Oh my,
world, here
yeah.
I come? Or was it like, no, not me, little old
No,
me, no?
I thought, oh my God, I love you. I just thought that what a thing to say to somebody. And I just thought, yes, I do believe there's a gap in the market. And I had hoped that I could be someone to fill it. So someone saying that to you and realizing your dreams for you was quite a pivotal moment for me to just think, yes, somebody else sees what I think and what I dream about at night. So yeah, it was one of the best comments, really.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine getting a comment like that. But yeah, just if comments were letters, they'd be throwing millions of them on the stage in front of you. It's amazing. Like your voice is stunning, and
Thank you.
I wanted actually to give people a little bit of a minute, kind of like a video of all your work that I kind of spent a lot of time putting together. Hope you like it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Always of
So there you go, everyone. That was international superstar soprano Lucy Kay in her work, which is just a smidgen of what you actually hunt. Like there's more to that, but more to that voice. Excellent. And when I put down the link of Britain's Got Talent down below in the description, you can hear her Ennio Morricone's Nella Fantasia. Beautiful, beautiful piece of work. So what can you tell me about some of those? I'm sorry that I don't know if it was probably, I think the volume was a little bit too loud on those, but um, that was a great rendition you did of gee, I can't remember who sang that song, Killing Me Softly with his song. That's a beautiful version.
Yes. Do you know what? I've always loved that song, and I thought, well, I'll just give it a go. And I didn't want it. I don't want to sing it classical. I just wanted to sing it pop, and just see if I could sing it. So while I was in lockdown, I just thought, oh, let's give it a go and just do some covers. And I really enjoyed it, and it just still kept me singing. So yeah, that's nice.
It was excellent. I really appreciated it. And what do you think of all of these? Sorry about that. What do you think of all these the fans of yours that when they see you, do they recognize you on the street quite a lot?
So actually, there was because I've moved to Norway now, so I'm not as well known here. I do have a few Norwegian fans actually, which is really nice. But I went to a spa to go and get some skin treatment done, and the lady came in. She went, "Are you Lucy?" And I thought, oh yeah, that's me. I'm here for my appointment. And sometimes I forget as well. And she was like, "You are Lucy." And I was like, yes. I was like, oh, does she think I'm somebody else? Like I've come in at someone else's appointment. And I totally was not, because I'm not expecting it here at all. And she went, well, welcome. It's so nice you are the Lucy. And I was the Lucy. I haven't got a clue. So then she's still doing my skin pen treatment. And then it suddenly occurred to me and I was like, oh, you mean, am I Lucy K? And she was like, yes. She was like, we Googled you. I was like, oh, so I forgot as well, which was quite funny. Oh.
Yeah, it's like, hey, are you? And then they say a totally different name.
Yeah, that's awkward.
Yeah. Hey, aren't you the girl from the Bangles? Aren't you Susanna Hoffs?
I'd be
No,
like, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I am.
I'm going to let you know something. I'm not supposed to mention this about the job I do, but I'll tell you one thing. One of our customers, her name is Christina Aguilera.
Wow.
So I talked to her once about some other matters, and I said, "Do you take advantage of your name?" And she says, "Yep." But she said, "But I wish I had her money." And I'm like, "How do you know if she makes money? Maybe she's." I couldn't imagine having a name that's But there's only one Lucy K, though. Just let you know. You hope.
I hope so.
Yes. So, that I was going to mention about Alicia Dixon's comment to you about you being on a personal journey, which people are going to buy tickets and see you in concert. I definitely believe that. I would definitely buy tickets to see you in concert. I hope that you can come to Canada again and sing, but I missed your last concert there.
It was supposed to be because I'm on Vancouver Island.
Oh, that's right.
It was supposed to be no, it was supposed to be this year, but because of COVID, the
Yes.
theatre wasn't open until November. So mine was in September. So we've had to push it forward to, or back, should I say, to next year in February. So that is my solo. I'm doing 4 solo dates. It's called Unforgettable. And the production is by Tony James, and it's got some quite exciting things in there as well. So I can't talk about it, which is a shame, but it's very exciting. So
Oh yeah,
I'm looking
keep
forward
keep
to
me
it.
up to date because I really want to see you in concert there.
Thank you.
So, what do you think of Ant and Dec? What are they actually like in
I
like
love them.
real life? Are they
I
like they
love
are
them.
on TV, or do they have a different attitude off screen? Or
No, they're absolutely the same. They're always cracking jokes. They were really lovely with me backstage. We absolutely got on like a house on fire. We laughed a lot, so it was really nice. What you see on stage is exactly what you get.
did you all the other people that go on, like the magicians and the singers? Do you get a chance to talk to them and connect with them? And do you all guys get together? Or
Yeah, I mean, I still speak to one of my friends who was Patsy May. She was the puppeteer, and I mean, she's coming over I think on the 1st of December to come to Oslo, and I live 2 hours outside of Oslo. So we're going to get together, have some Norwegian waffles and catch up. But the thing is,
nice.
there's a lot of us that do stay in touch via like social media, but there's also a lot that, you just meet on that show and then you don't hear anything else from because it's just, I think with people, I don't always stay in touch with everybody. I think it's very difficult to keep up being friends with everybody that you meet. I mean, obviously, we're all on social media, so we all see what we're all up to. And then when we occasionally think, oh, I wonder what they're doing now, then we give a little message. So it's nice.
Yeah, I had a friend on. My friend Joshua was on Canadian Idol. Canadian Idol didn't last very long here, but after that was it. I stopped watching it. Yeah, believe me.
Right.
But tell us more about what Alicia did about the adrenaline. Like you were mentioning something about adrenaline. What kind of adrenaline goes through you when you're singing in front of those thousands of people? And I can imagine you're probably shaking.
Yeah, I mean, I get very nervous. I am a nervous person because the thing is, I do care about what people think about me on stage. And unfortunately, I'm not one of these opera divas that you know, that think people are here to hear me and love me, and I can never be that kind of person. I'm grateful for all the support and fans that I have, and people that actually want to come see me. And sometimes I get a bit overwhelmed by it, because I think, why? Why? I don't get it really.
Why?
And yeah, it's that kind of thing. And again, that self-belief, self-worth kind of thing. And although I do think I am and have a talent and a gift to share, I still get overwhelmed by the amount of people that want to listen to me, want to come and see me at shows, or do message
yeah.
me, and I do think it's wonderful. But so the nerves play a massive part. The adrenaline as well, because once you're past your first notes, then you think, right, now it's okay, but you still can't really let go. I have to be probably like third song in before I can really let go, and just be myself and feel comfortable within. And it's the audience acceptance is what I look for, because then I know I'm doing my job right, and also they like what they hear. So if I don't get the reaction that I kind of hope for, yeah, it could go either two ways. Well, I've got to try harder. So yeah, it's overwhelming, but it's good to have nerves, but not good to have too many nerves as well. So it's finding that balance.
Well, I see that your mother is your strength, and
Yes.
she's constantly there, and you got to do this, you got to do that, but
Yeah.
she's in the audience, and you know where she is, right?
Yeah.
Does it kind of put you off target of your singing when you see her and you're like, you forget a line or a lyric or something?
No, not at all. Like, she's my biggest fan. She's been there since I was, you know, little, singing to her, and she always helped me learn my songs for the choir that I was in. When I was 7, I used to throw the music down on the floor because I couldn't learn the French or something. I was like, can't do it. She was like, get your headphones on now. She was like, and I will sit with you and we will
Yeah,
do it. You can
that's
do it. So
good.
she's the person that pushed me, but in a good way. Always pushed me because she knew I was able to do it, and also because I wanted to do it. But when I gave up on myself, she was always there to reinforce that love and support and self-belief that I needed. So she's one in a million.
That's good. I know there's I remember when I was in a play once in school, and I was doing so well, and then I saw my dad in the audience. I dropped my cue cards and tripped over the chair, and I'm like, "Oh, you're here." I just feel that usually if someone in the audience that you know is there, it's good that you just kind of look at the ground and you look up like this when you're singing.
Mm.
Because as soon
Mm.
as you go right up and say, "Oh, my friend or my mother or my brother, whatever is here," you kind of forget a lyric and you're messed up. And I did that once, and I planned for the whole song for 2 weeks before I actually sang it, and I knew the lyrics, and then I noticed someone that was watching me. I totally forgot it,
Mm.
and I was so embarrassed. I had to go all the way back and sing the first lyric and the second lyric, and nobody
Mm.
noticed. But the only thing you don't do is go there. Listen, um, everyone was congratulating me, and then I'm like, yeah, but just so you know that when I sang the second lyric, I forgot it, and so it really wasn't the song I sang. It's like, shut up, Chris.
I
Don't say
do
anything
that
more.
all the
Just
time.
just thank them, and yeah, I'm like, no, see, but I had to, I forgot because I saw someone in the audience, and so I had to
Mm.
sing the first lyric, it's the second, and
Hmm.
it's not really the song, and like, don't do that. Just say,
But
oh, thank
I
you very
do
much.
that. My granddad, I always, forever, since I can remember, or
Yeah,
if I did something wrong in a concert, or even when I was with the choir or whatever, and they'd come to see my performances, and I go, "Oh yeah, but I did this wrong," and oh gosh, did you hear me forget the words there? And my nan and granddad was like, "No," and my granddad said, don't tell people this. You shouldn't tell people this, because nobody knows. People are just taken away with what you're singing. And even if they do know, so what? We're only human. But I like to know, I like to own up to the fact that I've done something wrong, because I don't want to go on stage and be like, yeah, smashed it, when I
yeah.
know I didn't.
Or you made up a song and someone's asking, "That's a great song. Who sings it?" It's a song I learned from a group called Kitchen Knife. So, and you're like, "Should I maybe write
Someone.
that song and put music to it?" A kitchen knife. No. Ladies and gentlemen, Kitchen Knife. The video of you with a knife. I'm just trying to be funny, but yeah. So, I want to play another video. This is where it all started for me. Like and they're right. No, and you know what song I'm talking about. No, I've only heard maybe a few other women sing this song, but it's basically men sing it really. I know Pavarotti sang this song many times,
Mhm.
and it was Paul Potts' first song that he sang, and on I think Britain Got Talent, Paul Potts.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna play a little bit of it. I'm gonna play you Nessun Dorma. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Here we go. Everyone, this is Nessun Dorma. This is really going to show you the talented person that Lucy Kay is. Great soprano. You're going to love her. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucy Kay. Excellent. Excellent. Oh,
Thank you.
my heart is still beating. Oh, it's coming out of my chest. Oh no. It's beautiful. And I was going to actually show the Britain's Got Talent version, but this is a much better version.
Thank you.
But the same confidence. Also, Amanda Holden said that you're so confident and pitch perfect and a really brave choice. Was it a brave choice? Did you have another song that you had in mind that you wanted to sing that?
Yeah, well, I had that the night before. I was given that song the night before the final. I wasn't given much option than to do that song, and it was Simon Cowell's decision to change my song, which I was going to be performing, one that I'd really wanted to perform on the show, to give the general public another option of hearing opera instead of the same generic opera songs that you hear all the time. So mine was Un bel di vedremo from Madame Butterfly, and it's the bit where she commits suicide, and it's so powerful. But so I spent a week learning that, ready. Night before, get a phone call from the producers. Simon Cowell wants you to sing Nessun Dorma. And I said, the competition's tomorrow. And they said, yeah. And then I said, well, I'm not doing it because I said I can't. I said, I really, really want this. And then they said, well, on
Wow.
your head be it, because it's Simon's show and he knows what's best. And yeah, in this instance, he did know what was best. I just kind of had hoped that they'd given me this probably a week ago when I was meant to be learning the song and the staging and everything. So, you know, I didn't feel that my final performance was anywhere near what it should have been, because I literally had to rush learn it. And I didn't have enough time to set that. It was the tenor key, so it's extremely high. So I didn't have time to really settle that within my body and my voice. So, but I got to second place. So I am very lucky, very fortunate that he did see a song that people would relate to. Pavarotti singing Italia 90. You know, people know that song. So, yeah, I think he made the right call there. Just wish it had been a bit sooner.
Yeah, but how did you learn so quickly? Or did you
I
already know
just
the song?
No, I didn't. I've heard obviously the melody, but the thing is, you just I have to learn songs. Being at music college, I've had to learn songs in fast time. So I mean, this was a little bit more faster than I'd anticipated, but yeah, I think when you really, really want something, you'll get it done. So
Oh, definitely, yeah, and you deserve it. But
thank
that
you.
song, if they told me to sing that song, I'd be like, forget it. It's not a song I can do. I can do Nessun Dorma, and that's it. I'll walk off the stage.
Mm. Mm.
But like, it's amazing how you could just. So Simon Cowell calls you and says, "I want you to do Nessun Dorma," and then how long did you take to learn it? Like, what's it from his phone call to when you sang it on stage?
It
What's the
was about
time?
4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I had the evening to learn it, and then the whole of the next day.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
not the whole of the next day, up until about 3 o'clock the next day. So I was on voice rest for some part of the time. I couldn't speak to anyone because my voice had taken a battering, because I am singing far too high, constantly trying to get this song sung in. And in that amount of time, it's just not the greatest thing for your voice. But so, I mean, it was a little, the end note wasn't as spectacular as I wanted it to be on the live performance, but, you know, I got there. So I have to be grateful with what I was given and what I delivered. So, and it got me to second place. So I was more than delighted. I didn't think I would get there. So I did. So it was a dream.
That's amazing. Like, was it sort of like you were you had like you were singing, okay, and then nope, that's not it. Were you doing like this, or like how did you, like, were you looking at an iPad with the lyrics on there, or were they, how did
No.
you, what did you do? You
Sheets of
just,
music with them, and then you write things phonetically. I always write things and how I hear it on previous recordings of other people, and how they pronounce the words. I always write them in the way that I hear them, so it wouldn't necessarily mean it is it's correct in the way that I'm doing it phonetically. I would Nessun Dorma, I would just write how I heard things. And so then I would do a line by line. I would do repetition of one line 3 times. Then I would add a bit more. Then I'd do it 3 times again, and I'd keep adding lines and lines to it. Then I would remove the sheet music, see how far I could get. Then I would go over that bit that I would forget. And that's the process. That's how I do it anyway.
that's 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 amazing because um when I learn a song, if I'm just given the lyrics but I don't get the music, um I would have my own symbols. So let's say you have to go high on a note. So if it's like the last word is like I would
Mm-hmm.
put like a
Yeah, a slide up. Yeah, it's what your brain
yeah.
recognizes
So
to be a high note. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
that's
get
how
that.
that's yeah. Um Sorry about that. So oh my goodness, never mind. I was just trying to get the questions. So yeah, so when you sang Nessun Dorma, um Alicia Dixon said you're special. You've been on, well, you are special, but I'm saying you've been on such an emotional roller coaster, and the show has helped you blossom. What does that mean to you?
Yeah. I mean, it did give me more confidence the more rounds I did. The more compliments that I got on my singing, the constructive criticism as well. You know, just things. and the audience's acceptance. It was a great thing for my confidence, although it didn't boost it to the very top, thank goodness, because I like to keep very, I like to keep a real head on my shoulders and not get ahead of myself. And I think it's good to to be a little bit modest and to also, yeah, just not be a diva. So, and I know that there's two types of divas. There's diva, which is like not the diva I want to be, or
Oh
there's the
yeah.
diva of opera, which is the one that excels, in her music, in the passion for music on stage. And so, I just think it's, I'm a very humble person, and those comments gave me a little step up to more confidence. So it was rewarding, and it was well worth doing, because who knows what I would be doing now.
Yeah. Um, there was something that you mentioned. I think we watched that you had a hard time in school. Can you tell us a little
Mm.
bit about that, or is that personal for you?
No, I mean that was a struggle through being needy, through being a girl that wanted to have friends, and would do anything for their friends. So I was kind of picked on because I was a target, an easy target, and someone that they could take advantage of. And then my singing came into play, which was, oh, you're singing God music. Oh, it's not cool. Oh, whatever, And so. Uh, and then bullies, I moved school, and then bullies knew me from or cousins of bullies then knew who I was. So then it just continued, and it was physical, it was verbal, and it was mental abuse. It was just everything. But had I not been through a lot of these struggles, I probably wouldn't sing through pain the way I do today.
Oh
um
wow.
and I probably wouldn't have found my singing or stuck at my singing, because it was the one true safe place that I had in this time. So I don't condone it. I don't like it. I don't like what happened, but it did make me a stronger person in the end.
But what do you do when you're singing and the thought, well, back then of something terrible to happen to you, especially the bullying? Does it affect your singing, or do you sing so flawlessly that you might have all these things going through your mind, but
No, I don't think about I sing through pain in the sense of I understand what it is to feel pain, to feel the lowest depths and the heartache. So those feelings don't actually come from a memory anymore, because I block them out. But what it is that the pain still remains when you sing songs of a very emotive nature that have a lot of desperation in the lyrics or in the way the music's written. That's the way that I channel that pain that I have that I've created inside and that I've held on to, and
wow.
it's the way that I get that out then. So it's a vessel, and I use it to kind of it just, I think it adds more to the performance. Not that I'm using it on purpose, but it's just the way that I sing. It's just how it comes out, and it's in there. It's instilled in me, like data in a computer. It's just there.
Yeah. And when David Williams also said that not only was he completely blown away by it, but what does it mean by when he says such intensity? Do you sing all your songs with such intensity?
I think so. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I do. I think I get lost in the moment, and I don't ever sing anything that I don't have a connection with. Um, I think it's very important to have a connection with every song that you sing, whether you know what it's about or not. I always know what the songs are about, but I don't necessarily sing the songs as they as I interpret them very differently. So "O mio babino caro" is a song that by Puccini, an aria by Puccini. It is about shorthand, let's say. This particular song is about a daughter singing to her father, "Oh beloved father, you know, kind of. This is what it is. Please let me see this man that she's fallen in love with, and that she kind of wants to be with. Her father has said no, so she has now. Uh, saying that she's going to throw herself off the Ponte Vecchio and, you know, off a bridge. You know, that's it. So it's typical teenager move. But I sing that song so differently to what that interpretation is. I sing it about a memory, about love, about passion. And I just sing from somewhere in here. And it's not always the same. It's just something I feel in my heart and my soul. And it just comes out. And it's the way that the music flows. And that's just how
Nice.
I interpret it. And
I
so
love
it's
that.
absolute, yeah. And I just think that's important for people who don't know a lot about opera as well. You don't need to know about what the song means, as long as it connects you to how you feel inside, or a memory. It takes you to a place, or a time that you loved, or maybe an emotion, or someone that you lost, or something. If it takes you there and it does you good and it helps you cry in a good way, or you know, feel happy, then job done. You
So
know, I think that's important.
sorry for interrupting you. So
No?
does Nessun Dorma, so when you sing a song and you go out there, does a song title have something to do with your emotion? Like Nessun Dorma is intensity and passion, and creep might be confidence, or is that how you do it? Or you just sing every song like it's your first time singing, or did you sing every song with intensity and passion? And because Simon Cowell said that when he first saw you on stage, you were a shivering wreck, and I don't think you were a shivering wreck. And so, is that true that you were a shivering wreck when you first came
Yeah.
out?
Oh, I was.
Really?
But what they don't show you
I
on the
didn't see it.
TV, well, what they don't show you on the TV is the
Oh,
fact that they chose a song for me, which was "Who Wants to Live Forever" by Queen.
yeah.
And then Simon Cowell stopped me and said, "This is the wrong song for you. This is too low." And I felt like saying yes, but this is what the producers asked me to do. But you can't say that because you are signed to a contract which tells you not, you cannot be, you
Yeah,
can't play with these things. So
I
I
know.
was like, okay. And he said, "You need to sing another song. What's it going to be?" And I was just like, oh God. There's me thinking, oh great, this is it. I'm ruining. I'm on national TV, and this is being filmed, and he's just said this isn't great, and it was the worst thing that could have happened. So then I said, oh, I'll sing Vissi d'Arte, and they went, well, I don't know that one. And I was like, I know, but let me sing it to you. You will like it. And Simon Cowell was adamant that he wasn't going to like it. I don't know it.
Oh,
Fine, on your head be it. So then I sang, and then I did get the words wrong actually, because it went on far too long than it was supposed to, because they told me it would only be 30 seconds to a minute. And they did the entire song. So note to self, learn your music. That's why I learn my music now, because if you don't know it, you've got to be ready for every eventuality. They told me I would only be singing, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and I ended up singing the entire song of 3 minutes.
oh
And
no.
yeah, and so part of it I was like, oh, so I just made up. And then, but they loved it. See, you don't have to know what it says because they loved it.
He does that a lot though. He goes like this and he says, "Do you have a second song?" And he said that first song is not right for you. I said, "Okay, but how do you know the second song is right for you?"
Well,
You know?
he said that he didn't know it. Can do something else, and I was like, no, you
No, I
will
mean
like
like,
this one.
but if you've seen the show, he does that a lot where he just goes like
Yeah.
this and he says, "You have a second song," and then there was one time when he asked one guy to come back later and they'll teach him how to sing a song that's just perfect for him, and I don't know, but it was still good. You could probably sing the Flintstones theme and it'll still go like probably.
I don't know.
Um, and then he says that you chose most arguably the world's hardest song. This is for Nessun Dorma. Um, it was so gutsy, so beautiful. Like he says things. I've noted that he says things which is like something you wouldn't even say. It's something you would think, like gutsy. Like what was going through your head? Do you think he was gonna like that was gonna tear you down or something? Because I think he had high hopes for you though.
But he chose the song for me, so I knew exactly what his comments would be. in a sense, like, you know, if I did the song well. He chose that song for me, but the audience didn't know that.
So he made it
So
seem.
yeah, this is TV. This is TV,
Oh.
and this is what we now know, and why I go into things very lightly instead of taking everything on face value. Because the thing is, TV is a program to be sold to millions of people. It's to be hyped up. That's why they put the music in the background and make everything seem so much more dramatic than what it is. But that's TV. That's film. That's how they get
Yeah.
emotion. So he knew that he chose that song for me.
So his
But
comment on TV is like making it like you chose the song and that he didn't know about it. So it's sort of like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But if
yeah.
people knew that he had kind of chose that song, they would be like, oh, he's helped her. It would be that kind of thing. Oh, well, it's his show. But the thing was, I didn't say yes, I would do it. I said no at the beginning. So he probably was still unaware that I was actually going to go for it. But then he probably would have found out, like, as he came in for the show, that I was going to do it. But the last comments he got from me on my side was, no, I've been practicing Un bel di vedremo for a week, and it's impossible to get my voice in shape for Nessun Dorma. And then the comment of, well, I know the show format, I know this show and how it goes, I know the audiences. So I kind of like did sit for a few hours thinking, oh, I'm gonna have
Well,
to do it.
we'll put all your performance of British Got Talent in the description. I saw you. Let's go away from Britain's Got Talent. What did I say? British Got Talent. Okay, Britain's Got. You know what? It's probably this keto coffee. Too much of it. Yes, I saw you duet with Joe Elderry. Can't help falling in love. It was fantastic. I love his vibrato. Like
Yeah.
you can't learn a vibrato. You just have it.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
that duet was perfect for you guys.
Thank you.
Did you feel connection to him in some way? Like, I want to duet with you again, or did you find out,
Yeah,
well, our voices don't match?
we were really good friends on the Joseph tour. He played Joseph. So we got on like a house on fire then, and then he was doing his little solo concert. So he asked me to join him, and our agent at the time said, "What songs do you want to do?" And I suggested "Can't Help Falling in Love."
Yeah,
And yeah, and then we just did it, and then it's, you know, I think he sings it a lot now, so that's good. It was like a nice new one for the repertoire. So it suited his voice, it suited ours together as a duet, so it was really lovely.
yeah. And then COLLABRO, singing with COLLABRO, Come What May. Tell us about that one. That's
Yeah, I
from
love that
Moulin
one.
Rouge. That's my favorite song from there.
Yeah, I just think it was meant to be. We were thinking of songs that we could do on tour together, which ones would work, and that was one of the first ones that we thought of. You know, I love Moulin Rouge, and I just thought it's great for our particular types of voice, the soprano and the boy band. You know, they're musical theatre singers. Great, it just worked.
Yeah, it sounded. But how do you like? Did you the Birmingham Symphony Hall? So how did that feel? What was that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was insane. It was one of my favorite places to perform. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, that's excellent. That's good to hear. Did you ever sing at the Sydney Music Hall in
Sydney
Australia?
Musical. No, no. Do you know, I had to think then. I was like, I've never been to Australia.
Oh,
No, but that's on my bucket list. I want to get there. So
the bucket
yeah.
list, yeah, with all the other halls that you want to sing
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I got some more questions here, but it's sort of like, oh, can we talk about apart from music? Can we talk about something else here?
Yes.
Okay. So, have you ever heard of activist Greta Thunberg?
Yes.
I want to see. She quoted, "The moment we decide to fulfill something, we can do anything." Does that mean, what would that mean to you in music? Let's put that towards music. The moment we decide to fulfill something, singing or a song, we can do anything. I know she's talking about climate change, but I'd be interested in knowing, you can take that quote of hers and attribute it to maybe a song or music or your life. What would you say?
I think, yeah, I think it's got lots of meanings. I think the moment that you kind of start to fulfill those dreams that you've had in song or as a person, you are unstoppable. And I think the thing is with me is that I've shown myself that I can do different things if I put my mind to it, if I push myself on believing what's up here. And there's no good locking what you believe in here away from other people and not showing what you can actually do. You know, and you're not going to get very far by not working on that and just doing it. It's like I've got a tour coming up, and I've always wanted to play Christine Daae, and my tour is around Norway, Switzerland, and Germany, and I'm singing Christine Daae songs. So I'm singing Phantom of the Opera, and I was given the contract to this, and they said, "Oh, by the way, you're singing Phantom of the Opera, so the really high E," and I was like, I didn't know that I could even get up there, and I've never sang up there. And I signed the contract, and I was like, well, I've got to learn it now. So I told myself, I can do this. I can get this note. And for a week, I couldn't get the note. It wasn't there. It wasn't in my register. I'm not a particularly high soprano. I've got a range, but I'm no way a coloratura. And I'm a lyric, really. So then I just one day I was screaming, very bad for the voice, don't do that. But I was like, I know I can get there. I know it's somewhere there. And then I was doing something funny with my face because I was like, maybe if I unlock something in here, like my jaw, and I do something funny with a vowel, it will come out. And there it was. I did something weird with my face. Which I've perfected now, so it doesn't look so scary on stage. But now I know where to place that note. So I told myself I can do this, and which I think is quite an impossible thing to tell yourself, that you can get a note that you're not even aware that you've ever gone up there, even as a kid, to then be able to do. So it's all in the mind. You've just got to believe it, and you can do it.
Well, you do know what note it is that you have to use it.
Yeah.
That's the note. remember I was telling you on that I joined this little app called Smule Sing, which allows you to sing with people around the world. Well, they have Phantom of the Opera, and I do Phantom of the Opera all the time. And I have the mask. I had someone specifically make the mask. And if you go to my channel, you'll see one I did with this Chinese woman. A friend of mine said that he didn't like her, but to tell you the truth, you can't do a Christine Danae without this. Sorry, I don't want to show it again, but I love that. Sorry, I keep showing it to people. It's high, like when Christine Danae at the very end, when Phantom of the Opera, when he starts singing, you have to go high, like really high, and you can do that, and that was probably no problem for you right there, right?
I mean, this is a lot higher than that note. Let's put it that way.
It's a G5. I have a friend who you ever heard of the G5? Mariah Carey has that. It's like a really high.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I can imagine for you, and to keep, I don't know how many times you have to do Christine Danae, but you probably have to do that. Have you? I don't know. Did you do that one already?
No. So I start the tour on the 26th.
Okay,
of
so
December.
How many times will you have to perform that?
56 times.
Oh my goodness. I'm not going to play this 56 times for you. Don't think I'm going to do that. But I'd be very interested in knowing how, like, just keep me updated on that, because that would be interesting to see that. How's your response regarding the current pandemic? How did that affect you? Like, how did it change your life? Like, did you get less tours? Was Killing Me Softly, was that done during the pandemic? Because I figured that was done in your room. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The home ones are like Parla Piu Piano. That was done in lockdown, the very beginning of lockdown as well. Everything that was home video wise, that's lockdown. because music stopped, everything stopped, the world stopped. So for 2 years, this is why the album didn't come out, because pandemic hit. So I was like, right, we'll wait. So now it's coming out this Friday, because we are now well and truly getting over the pandemic. People are having vaccines. People are, are getting better. Obviously, we've lost a lot of people. It's very unfortunate and very sad time. I know quite a few people that lost their lives as well to COVID-19. So, it's been a rough year for everybody. But we are on the straight and narrow, hopefully. And if we keep by the guidelines, then, we'll be on track to opening the world as it should be,
I heard March 22nd, I think. The mask mandates will be done with. And what are your future, Lucy, what are your future aspirations? And is there a third album in the distance? And then we're going to get to some questions for you.
Okay. Third album, I would love to. At least I know now what to do with recording an album independently, because this is what we did. I had 2 sponsors that really wanted to help put this album on the road. I've always wanted to do an album of my choice. Being with Sony was great, but they kind of tell you what music you need to put on there, so you don't have any artistic freedom. So this one was completely my freedom, my artistic choice. And so a third album, I mean, that would probably, I mean, gosh, there's so many things to do, and I want to.
Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. Lucy? Uh-oh. Yeah. Sorry, what happened there?
I don't know, it just went off.
Oh, no. Sorry about that. I didn't do that because I didn't want to hear you.
No.
I was freaking out. I was like, oh, no. People are going to think I kicked her off.
It's all right. It's probably my iPad going, no, it's time to go. No, stop talking so much. No, but I don't know where I got up to. But third album, there would be so much to do. It would be another crossover. Could be another classical. Could be something a little bit more out there. Who knows? So yeah, with an album.
And you chose these songs for the second one?
Sorry?
You chose the songs for the second one yourself?
Yes. Artistic
Good.
freedom. Yeah, completely. Every single one. So it was it was fun. Yeah.
So let's get you to the first question here. Someone in a situational quandary says, how has your singing performances changed the way your attitude is to the world?
Could you repeat that again for me?
How has your singing performances changed your attitude to the world? Like when you sing, does it?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, really. My attitude to the world. I have a lot of time and patience for people that come to watch me perform, and I just feel very grateful for being on stage. Every single platform that I have been given is another step to where I want to be, and so whatever platform I am given, whether this is on radio, whether this is on stage, whether this is on podcasts, it all helps, and it's just nice to be wanted, and nice to for people to actually want to support you. So it makes me more confident, and it also just makes me feel so much more happier and humble and proud that people of myself being able to get through these situations, but also to be able to share my gift with the audience.
And everyone, I forgot to subscribe to this channel, and you'll get more content. But I will fill my entire description with everything that says Lucy K this, Lucy K that, just so get your name out there.
Thank you.
Okay, so ready for the second question? Someone by the name of Phantasm says, thank you for that answer to the first question. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have you ever seen the movie Pitch Perfect where the character Chloe had vocal nodes? Have you ever heard of those?
Oh, yes, vocal nodes, yes. So that's the thing. So when I was trying to get those top notes of Phantom of the Opera, I was thinking, I'm on a verge of possibly giving myself nodes here if I don't work the voice properly and I don't treat it well. Nodes are, something that can be removed. A lot of singers can have that, but it doesn't. It just means that you're not using your voice in the correct way, and that you're not using your diaphragm, and you're not using your whole body. You're forcing it through your throat, and that's the incorrect way of singing.
Well, that's good, but you don't have to deal with that because you know how to sing properly. Of course. Yay! Clap, everyone! No notes. At least we know your third album won't be called No Notes. Okay, so Keeper of the Heart says, if you weren't into music, what would you be doing instead?
I would probably be doing something with one of two things, actually. In the pandemic, I worked at a graveyard because I needed work, and I just moved to Norway, so I needed a residency permit somehow, and I needed to secure work. So I worked on a graveyard, and I didn't mind getting dirty and wet and everything and muddy. I was absolutely fine with that, and I was in overalls and I was digging. But I would probably
Seriously?
not. Yeah,
You're actually
seriously.
working in a graveyard?
I was, invested a graveyard in
Well, my
Norway.
friend would love you because he loves graveyards.
Well,
Wow.
I would work. I would want to work in the morgue, really. I would, because I would like to make up. But also, it's not just that. As I always expressed to my mum, actually, when my nan passed, I was the lady who was talking about we were organising the funeral and everything. I thought I would really enjoy doing that job because I have a lot of compassion for people and the situations that and I've sang at a lot of funerals as well, and so I've got a lot of empathy for people. So I just feel like I would be really good in those types of situations or services. And also I've my passion is animals, so there would be definitely, I live on a farm at the moment, so I would definitely be doing something with animals, and I don't know, setting up a sanctuary or something like that, which probably will happen one day.
It would be funny. Yeah, we had one of our bosses, top bosses, actually was a gravedigger. Now that you say that you work in a graveyard, you're going to be famous, like more famous, because I can imagine two guys you're working with, and they're like, isn't that opera star from that BGT
Yeah, I
thingy?"
did get that.
So that's not her. She wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I did get that, actually, because then the bosses let everybody know that I was from Opera's Got
Wow.
Talent, and I'm from the UK. So then people were like, is it really you? I was like, yeah. They were like, what are you doing here? I was like, well, I
That's
have
awesome.
to work.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Wow. Okay, well, you're talking about you live on a farm. John Newman says, do you have any pets?
Yes, I do. I have two beautiful but holy Burman cats. They are white with blue eyes and black faces, and brown little paws. And I have two rabbits.
Yes, you
And
mentioned that at the beginning. Yes.
yes, yeah. So I have those, and then we've got the sheep on the field, and then there's two horses down there, but they're not ours. But we feed them all the time, so that's nice.
My friend had a rabbit. He really loves his animals, and losing his rabbit was really sad for him. But I can understand that. So the cute and brave, that must be a woman because I don't think a man would write that. She says, or he says, oh wait, are you in a relationship, and what does he think of your talent?
I am in a relationship. I'm in a relationship with a Norwegian man, and I met him when I was working on Color Magic Norwegian ship, and he's a chef on there at the gourmet restaurant, and yeah, it was like love at first sight. Really, it was a bit crazy. And then what happened was I met him 3 days before the pandemic hit, where all the borders were being shut. So I got sent home. I only met him for 3 days, and I knew that there was something there. We both knew it. So we kept in touch the entire time. We were in separate countries. And then, so fast forward from March till the end of July, the borders opened, and then I came straight over for a week to see if it would work. And then we fell in love, and we just went, you know what, let's just give this a go. And he said, well, I've got to move to you, or you've got to move to me. And I was like, oh, I'll move to you. So I just did it. And in the pandemic, because then we all locked down again, so it was crazy. But he loves my singing, and he it took a while for me to want to like sing in front of him a lot, because I am that kind of person. I don't like to show it off, and especially in front of my partner. But he was like, "Sing for me." He said, "I'm your boyfriend," and I was like, "Yeah," but it just, it's took me a long time. But he loves it, so he is a very big supporter of my singing.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So the thing is, so you said he's a chef, so he makes the food and you sing for it.
Oh my gosh. And does he make the food? Oh, love it. And I'm a foodie. So, I feel very blessed to be in a relationship with a chef.
That's awesome. Baby on board asks, what's your favorite drink or food before you go on stage?
Oh gosh, a cup of tea and a bar of chocolate. It's the worst thing you could have. You're not
Really?
supposed to have dairy, but oh gosh, gotta have me some sugar. Yeah, and a cup of tea. Oh, I'm a British through and through,
Oh,
so I'll
that's
have my
wow.
tea.
Yeah. And it clears your throat, right? They say that you should drink tea, no sugar, no milk, just drink tea, and it
Yeah, but you
coats your
shouldn't
throat, and
have milk.
you can sing
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Well, decaffeinated. Caffeinate's not great for you, but I'm a bit naughty and do have a caffeinated and milk and chocolate. So I've had all the shebang that you shouldn't have, but it's the chocolate. It helps me. I have a little bit of a sugar boost. So everybody's different.
That's great. Someone named Miraman says, is there a Norwegian tradition that you do that they don't do it in the UK? Like, is there like a tradition in Norway that you have
So
to follow?
they have Constitution Day, where everybody wears their traditional dress. And obviously we don't have the traditional dress back in the UK or anything like that. It's like when they come of age and they go to big school, they have these dresses, and they usually wear one for weddings as well. There's all different types from different cities and states. So Constitution Day is on, I think it's the 17th of May. I hope that's right. I think it is. And then and we have champagne, we have oysters, and everybody celebrates down the street. It's pretty fun.
That's good. Also, yeah. Oh, sorry. Lady Xena, my favorite show. What's your favorite movie and why?
Without a doubt, it would be What Dreams May Come, and it's got Robin Williams in it, and it's about heaven and hell. It's about perceiving your dreams and what you perceive heaven to be, and it's about connecting with a lovers that connected through. I'll tell you the plot. I'm sorry, I'm ruining it for everybody, but she commits suicide through tragic force of events, and he's died previous to that. And it talks about how love can find their way back. And they all say suicides go to hell, and he had to go and try and get her back. And it was the unwritten rule that it couldn't happen. And he did manage to get her back. And then they lived in their world in heaven through their paintings, because they were artists. So it's just the most moving and beautiful depiction of heaven and hell and what you make of it, and what people perceive that to be. It's very tragic, but it's got a beautiful outcome at the end. So yeah, it's one of my favorites.
I think Notting Hill has the same sort of beautiful outcome in the end with Hugh Grant and that little scene with Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts.
Yeah,
that was a good movie as well. That's one of my favorite as well. And there is a nice Robin Williams movie called Final Cut, which is a pretty good one. You should watch that one. Though that's good. I love those choices. And last one is Man Thing. It says, do you have a pastime or a hobby?
Skiing in the winter, which I learned this year. I've never been skiing at all. And also in the summer, which I've just found out because I've recently moved here in the mountains from Oslo. There is a MMA fighting class, and I used to do Muay Thai boxing, and so I will be getting straight back into that in the summertime. So they're my wintertime hobby sports.
That's awesome. Well, we are very happy that you were able to come on the podcast today.
Thank you for
I hope we
having
didn't
me.
take too much of your time.
Nope, nothing else to do.
Then we'll just spend another couple of hours in. So anyway, so is there another thing? I put my Christmas tree up early. Do you think it's too early to put up a Christmas tree? Because
do you know what? I when you said I could put your Christmas hat on, and I laughed when it's too early for that. And now I've only just noticed your Christmas. I know it's been in the background, but it was like a
You
normal
just noticed
fixture.
it?
It's just
It's right
no.
there.
I have seen it, but actually computed in my head that we are in November. But I mean, each for their own. I love Christmas, so go for it.
Yeah.
I don't have a Christmas. I've got Christmas trees outside actually that I can cut down and bring in here. So I will do that soon, but not too soon. 'cause-
Yeah, and my angel's name is Lucy too, just so you know. So I'm just joking.
Oh, well, can you name it Lucy?
Okay, it's Lucy. You are now
Thank
officially
you.
Lucy. Yeah, so thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I know we've been contacting each other back and forth. It was actually 11 o'clock and you hadn't shown up, and I'm like, oh no, I'm so nervous. And it's suddenly, boop, there you are.
Yeah.
11:01. That's perfect. So what are your plans for later? I guess you'll be doing some more singing probably.
Yeah, I need to get some dinner. I need to feed the cats because they're waiting patiently for their dinner.
Good.
And I think tonight I'm just going to have I went for a 5K run yesterday. So, and that was my first run in a long time. So I'm going to rest today because I'm feeling a little sore in the legs. And I will start my running again tomorrow and singing and exercise and get
that's
back on
awesome.
it again.
So basically, I stream this to also my Twitter account, so I kind of put your name on there as well.
Oh,
It told
lovely.
me that I couldn't stream to the Facebook account, so that's sort of can't do with that. But at least a YouTube channel actually has it, so
Great.
feel free to rewatch it. And I'm going to put all your information down in the description, the timestamps and everything, so that'll be done within a week. But I really appreciate it, Lucy, and hope that we'll get in contact soon. Maybe we'll do another podcast at one point in your future.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me and being very warm and welcoming.
You're very welcome, Lucy, and I appreciate that. And I will make sure that I send you some kettle coffee.
Woo!
Okay, so have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Say hello to your cats for me. And thank you very much for this wonderful podcast, and we'll be in communicado soon. Okay,
All right.
bye,
Thank
Lucy.
you. Take
You're
care.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.